In this video, I'm going to walk you through the different costs that you may or may not incur when you are opening an IUL account. It is not possible to open an account and not have any funds involved whatsoever, because you are essentially opening up a life insurance policy, and there is no company in the world that is going to agree with putting up hundreds of thousands of dollars in the event that you pass away without you putting something on the line. But there are points where you may have a cost or may not have a cost depending on how you go about opening this IUL account exactly. There are 4 different junctions I'm going to walk you through in this video, just so you have a better idea on what to expect when you're opening an indexed universal life policy. If this is the first time that we are meeting, my name is Nobu Musikiwa. I am a licensed financial professional, and on this channel, I answer your questions about cash value life insurance. I want to make sure that we are all starting on the same page and we have the same basic understanding. An IUL is an insurance policy, but unlike many other life insurance policies, the IUL is very customizable, and it's going to vary in how it is put together, how much is going into it, for how long exactly, depending on what it is that the account owner wants to do with this account, how they want to access funds from this account, when they need to access funds, if they want to access funds, how they want to protect their money from taxes. There are various criteria that are going to go into designing an IUL based on each person's desires and each person's goals. With us knowing that this is something that is customizable, it's something that's going to be different depending on each person, you as a regular individual cannot just go and click somewhere and open your own IUL. You actually have to have a conversation with somebody that is licensed to talk about life insurance. Additionally, somebody that has the expertise specifically to design this IUL for you. And so because of that, you first need to have a conversation with an individual that is going to open this account on your behalf. That's the first juncture where you were just talking through with an IUL specialist so they can tell you whether or not an IUL is the right vehicle for you based on what you're trying to do, and also have an understanding on whether or not you qualify for an IUL, because there can be more strict qualification criteria compared to other types of life insurance policies. At that point, you could be talking to a life insurance agent or a life insurance broker. If you're talking to an agent, they are tied to one specific company, so they only can write policies for the company that they work for. If you're talking to a life insurance broker, they have the ability to work with multiple companies. Now, at this point where you are essentially getting a consultation on whether or not an IUL makes sense for you, some companies, some individuals will do that consultation for free. Some individuals, some companies will have you pay for the consultation. So it's similarly to you looking to work with a lawyer, right? So there are some lawyers, there are some law firms that will give you a consult and talk to you about your case and have that consultation be for free. Or there are some lawyers that will consult with you before they even say yes or no, I'll take your case. They will charge you a fee to sit down and talk to you, to consult on what makes or doesn't make sense for your case. So at this point where you are getting a consultation, essentially to get a better sense on whether or not an IUL is a good idea for you, you might be working with an agent or a broker where they require you to pay a fee to get the consult. It also could be the case where you have to put down $50 or $100, whatever the amount is, in order for you to secure your appointment. And if you show up, they give you those funds back. If you don't show up, then they keep those funds. So now at this point, if it is determined that an IUL is in fact a good idea, it meets your financial needs and meets your insurance needs, and you are qualified, the next step is to complete your application. This is that juncture number 2. Most likely, if you paid a consult fee, you probably won't have to pay an application fee. But again, you might, depending on the structure of the business of the individual that you are talking to. So they may also have a fee to complete this application, whether it is a flat fee or it is a fee that is based on the amount of the policy. Just like there are plenty of lawyers that do free consultations and don't charge until they actually sign a contract to work with you, there are also plenty of insurance agents or insurance brokers that will do the consult and the application without a fee to you. If you happen to come across someone that does charge a fee, it does not mean that they are a bad person. It doesn't mean that it is a scam. This is just how they choose to run their business and how they choose to prioritize their time and work with people that are willing to pay that fee in order to get access to them. The next step after that application is completed is to submit that application to the insurance carrier. This is the actual company that is going to be holding your insurance policy. If you're working with an insurance agent, it's going to be the company that that person works for. If you're working with a broker like myself, we are essentially able to look through the different options and recommend the company where you have the best chance of getting approved and also the best chance of accomplishing the goals that you are trying to accomplish with this IUL. So when you are filling out this application, the person you're working with is going to ask you for your bank details. They're going to need a bank account name, bank account number, routing number, all that in order to submit the application. And even though this information is required in the application, you are not charged at this point. Regardless of what company you're applying with, even though they're asking you for your bank information, you are not going to be charged at all until the carrier has looked at your application and they have approved you. That approval process might take a week, might take 2 weeks, might take 45 days. It just depends on the insurance company. It also depends on what kind of underwriting has to be done, what kind of background checks have to be done to determine whether or not they are going to give you this policy. Just because you have applied for a policy doesn't mean that you are going to get approved, which is why that point of application on the company side, on the insurance carrier side, they will receive your application and they will not charge you for it until they have determined that, yes, you are somebody that we want to insure. Step number 4 is the point where they have said, yes, you are approved for this application. We want to insure you. At that point is when they automatically take the funds out of your account. How much they're going to take out is going to be dependent on what you apply for and what the payment schedule is for that policy. So if you decide that you want to pay on an annual basis, they're going to pull out the whole amount for the year. If you determine you're going to do a 6 month or a month, whatever it is, you are going to know ahead of time because your specialist that you applied with is going to let you know what the numbers are that they're going to pull at the time of approval. Once that approval is in, you are now obligated to continue to pay into this IUL based on the timeline that is built out in your policy design. For some people, it might be 10 years. For some people, it might be 7. For some, it might be 20. It just depends on how this IUL was built out for you based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish in terms of your insurance coverage, how much you want those funds to grow to, when you want to pull funds out, and how much you want to be able to have access to in that account. Something else that comes up a lot is just this idea that anybody can get an IUL. If you just want it, you can get it. But unfortunately, that is not the case. There are very strict requirements, and in this video right here, I'm going to walk you through every single thing that you are going to need to submit an application for an index universal life policy. Make sure you check it out so you don't get caught by surprise. I'll see you there.